miss.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be a tough one to start on, especially. I think most teams prefer the above ground objectives to attack and even to defend sometimes. But this one, it's very cappable. It has these little cubbies, which we can see here, that, you can hide in. And when you're capping, if you get, some smokes in and around the objective, you pull your tablet out and really go for it. And for those who don't know, a cap brings out 2 points for your team rather than the one, and it is awarded when the attacking team puts a code into their tablet, which they have on their back, and it brings home 2 points rather than one. But it is a lot more difficult to do and can only be done on attack.
Yes, and if you are uncertain, yes, when you do win a round by killing all the enemy opponents, you do win 1 point, which I just want to quickly add in just in case any confusion. Of course, you can also cap as a Volk. There's a thing called a back cap, which is often referred to when you're stuck in a tight situation. Let's say, for example, you're in a 1v5. You have the choice to cap your own objective, which does make you have a -1 point, but instead of being possibly capped on, some teams do choose it if they know they're going to get capped on.
Yeah, personally, I've never seen it in a game before. However, I have definitely heard of it happening before, and it's definitely very popular on certain objectives, which are just nearly unavoidable in terms of the cap coming out.
Of course, but I say, hopefully we should be going very soon into the gameplay. They have had their 10 minutes to get every player in, but we should, fingers crossed, be starting very, very shortly. But I say, I've only seen a back cap actually happen once in a league game. And, even I was so surprised by it. When it happened, I actually wasn't sure what happened. I was thinking about the game glitch for a second, but no. It is something which some teams do consider, but it's very rare it does occur, like, very, very rare.
Yeah, it's actually something that a lot of teams don't even know about, especially the newer teams, because it's something that just rarely ever happens. But, well, we could see it today. It could happen any day.
Well, that is well and truly sure. But I say, believe it or not, only figured out about the back cap only fairly recently. I say fairly recently. I mean, relative to some teams that have been around for seasons or years and such. But I only recently, about like 4-ish months ago, like only discovered that you can actually cap your own objective as Volk, and I was really confused. I was like, wait a second, you can back cap? But yeah, apparently that is a real thing. So, believe it or not, Onward surprises us daily.
Yeah, just waiting for Spaces Aces' fifth player now, and once they're in, the first round can go underway.
Of course, but for Cobra's side, we are going to see Battle Rose, Sibba, Fly to the Sky, Bron, and Jason for Cobra's side. Currently on Space Aces, we do see Buddha, Raccoon, Death Legion, and Gummy666. So hopefully their fifth player will join shortly so we can get straight into the subway madness. Of course, this is probably one of my most loved maps. I love a good subway. It's just how like simplistic it's made, but like so complex at the same time.
Yeah, an absolute classic to Onward. Probably one of the most, if not, probably the most memorable Onward map to me. I love it. By far my favorite.
I think, thinking about what would be the most memorable Onward map, it either has to be Suburbia or Downfall. Like, when you ask
Downfall.
a player, yeah, I mean, Downfall is always that map where people are like, oh, it's Onwards, long range, snipers, all the, like, the windows and all the buildings. It's that map, but, people do talk about Suburbia as it is a classic, but you never know. You never know. Mandatorily starts, so hopefully they can try to carry on despite this.
It's a Death Legion going for a rush up the overpass, trying to be very aggressive.
So for the current moment, we do see quite a open defense going on here, going for Space Aces. We do have Raccoon down the track in the basement, and of course we do have Buddha, which is kind of watching that service tunnel. Does need to worry about Brunt, which is now making his way up. He's trying to clear out those angles, trying to make sure that the red room is secure.
소리 들립니다. 그쪽 안쪽에 한 명 있는 거.
Yeah, they're trying to surround the areas of the objective 2. Bron and Civica are both down in this tunnel down here. And also now joined by Battle Rose, you know, they're trying to kind of surround around the objective with also the other 2, Jason and Fly to the Sky, you know, also on the opposite side. They need to put pressure on both ends and push at a similar time. Otherwise, they're going to get caught out and picked off one by one.
Battle Rose does throw out a nade, does clear the exit to make sure there's no C4 and everyone is hiding. Does need to worry about Buddha, which is maybe debating trying to go a bit of aggressive push here. Something which I do want to comment about, we do see in the far back, Gummy is kind of going for a flank. So if you come over to Gummy, he's on his way, he's making his way into the generator room. He's behind the enemy team. They are unaware. We'll be coming around, we'll be getting a pick onto Bronx. Ooh, nice shot there from Death Legion. So many picks going on, so many picks.
Spaces Aces are a man down, but they're not suffering from it seems. Buddha also now getting very close.
And that will be the first point going for Space Aces. Cobra just kind of got a little bit surrounded there at the very end, as you just witnessed. You know, they times where you do see players which just it just hurts occasionally. They're just unaware. They need to be paying attention to it, but they just don't do it. But regardless, hopefully we'll see a bit more of improvement from Kovra. Spaces are now making their way up. Got the standard spawn, which is at the west side.
None of Kovra doing any aggressive pushes, none up to the overpass like Spaces Aces did, which in my opinion is a very strong position to hold. Death Legion running down the overpass at full speed. Gotta be careful, checking around these corners despite none of Kovra being there.
So it's going to be quite a interesting attack because, you know, Kovra is 5 stacking the basement. You know, they have not moved out into center platform. They have all stacked, and you know, if you do look into the generator room, we do see Buddha, which is now kind of making his way up, trying to just clear out, trying to spot any people, but of course, you know, they are kind of playing tight. Do have a C4 though, which, you know, I do want to address on the pipe. It is very open though. It's quite a open C4, and it has been spotted, I do believe. But I say it's a C4 which I probably wouldn't use, is that it's very exposed and it does kind of give off a bright light.
Yeah, I think a better place would probably be behind, you know, or in between the pipes. I think right there, or even on the roof or such, you know, if they're a bit lazier, they won't check on the roof like that. But this position here is definitely way too exposed. But smokes are going out.
Yeah, so they are pushing up.
They are going to be masking the position of the C4, which can end up in Kovra's favor. Funny enough.
So a nice little free C4 spot, which I do want to mention, is in between these bins. Something which I don't see people clear often are these bins. You know, I've seen times where teams will just completely run by the bins, not even look between them, and you know, one cheeky C4 will take them all out.
Yeah, personally, I wouldn't have checked in between these bins, so I think you're definitely right. Hiding, you know, maybe taking a position like behind this box here and just listening for audio.
We do see the C4 does get shot, does get dead by Bronx. Will not take anyone out, fortunately, for Space Aces, and they will be kind of making their way up here, kind of taking it a bit more of an EU slow. You know, we always make a joke about the EA slow, the EU slow and the EU slow and the NA fast, but for this evening, it does appear that Space Aces will be the slower team. Bronx is going to be peeking out, does get one pick onto Davracoon. Does no, what a TK! What a TK!
Team killed. But a good swing from Civica to take out Buddha.
So that's a very unfortunate TK, but he does get the second pick, so that does help the team move forward. Down goes Buddha from, of course, Sibrak. And it's now up to Death Legion and Gummy for Space Aces are trying to get it back.
Gummy on this north, double down, ready to push down. He needs to push in time with Death Legion. Otherwise, he's just going to get shut down, taken out one by one against 4 defenders. I
Out
think
goes
they also...
Oh, yep, go on.
I think they also have an incorrect kill count because there was a team kill that came out. So I think Gummy and Death Legion are under the belief that they are against 5 defenders.
So this will be definitely a lot difficult for Death Legion because, you know, he's kind of pushing down. Does need to worry about Jason, which is on his left, or his right, I should say. But it does appear that he can be quite open though when he does want to push. Doesn't need to worry about the left side, only the right side. Jason isn't really looking. If Death Legion swings around this corner, you know, Jason's gone. So they are taking it very, very, very slowly. I would be worried about running out of time right now.
I think a minute and a half is enough time to get an attack when they're this close to the objective, but they are going to be slow peeking this corner. Death Legion. Oh, some shots out.
Shooting the
From Gummy, it
C4.
seems.
Yep, that was taken out a C4, which was a very good C4 spot, but just unfortunately not used properly. Gummy's going for an aggressive push. Unfortunately, does get taken out. You do see Death Legion, but does push out and does get taken out. First point going for Cobra. They're getting themselves ready for this round. It does appear that, unfortunately, Cobra will not be getting the quick spawn, so... Actually, they do have the quick spawn. I keep on mistaking the spawns all the time. I'm so used to the northern spawn. I say, they will be getting the quick southern spawn. It does allow them to play very aggressively. We do see that Sipka is kind of going up fast. Oh, Gummy does peek round. Does shoot off. Shots do not land, unfortunately, though. And we are going to see that Gummy will be retrading back, trying to get back to the objective. I say, what a nice little attack there. Almost worked. Unfortunately, was just not fast enough.
Giving Cobra a false sense of pressure as well after rotating back. Just wasting a tiny bit of extra time. But Civica is not worried about that at all. Rushing straight up to this corner and trying to find out that where that Spaces Aces defender has disappeared to.
Now looking over to Fly to the Sky, we do see that Dar Raccoon is kind of sitting at this little like plant box section at the Adult Alley staircase. Of course, we do have Fly to the Sky who will be trying to clear it out. Waiting for his team to kind of make that push through main. Nades are being thrown by them. Dar Raccoon is not really looking, but he will be definitely aware of Sky's position now. Sky does rush round. Raccoon does not peek up. He's taking this very secure. Oh, shots coming from Buddha. Takes out Battle Rose. Fly to the Sky will be taken out from Dar Raccoon.
Just left to the 3 cover attackers against the 4 defenders, but Buddha Master gets very close and is taken out by Bronx, but only down. Free fire coming out from Death Legion through the smoke. Just trying to pick off anybody, you know, they can be way within that smoke, getting ready to cap if they have enough utility to do so. Nearly catches Cibica.
Almost. So there is many smokes on the objective. Death Legion is kind of doing the right thing and putting pressure on cover. Knife kill onto Buddha from Bronx. Very unfortunate, but say Death Legion is stopping this cat from going ahead.
Yeah, just a fully... Oh, an attack fully concentrated down in this main alley, and Civica takes out Gummy. Death Legion comes forward and takes out the 2 cover attackers. Death Legion very happy with his 2 kills there.
So they are doing an excellent job for the defense coming from Space Aces. You know, that last little section there was utter chaos. Multiple double kills there from Death Legion does secure that. Moving over to Space Aces, which is going to be getting the southern spawn. So this is going to be the quick spawn. So they will be getting themselves ready. We are going to see Darakoon Buddha probably taking the fast approach. It's going to see Death Legion probably going north and Gummy going through Overpass.
Yes, it does.
Get ready.
Something I find interesting, you know, Kovra has not been very aggressive so far. They are taking this quite passively. They are not playing super aggressive angles. I guess the only super aggressive is Battle Rose, which is going to get some shots onto Death Legion here.
C4 placement on here also.
Ooh.
Oh, Death Legion takes out Battle Rose. Just tucked away C4 on the shop.
That is a very nice C4 spot. Does need to worry about, you know, I probably wouldn't recommend his general position, as I would be worried about people pushing through the service tunnels up the top, but you know, that is still a pretty nice C4 spot. Does need to worry about when to detonate it. C4 gets blown too early, unfortunately, and will not get anybody off. Ooh. Oh.
Flies
Nice.
to the sky with a good pick.
Yeah,
swing
nice little
on
refrag.
attackers.
It's still 3-3 so far. Out goes another C4. Doesn't catch anyone off currently. Got this little fight going on between Darakoon and Fly to the Sky currently. Off of Death Legion is kind of sneaking around to the northern side. Does have a PKM. He is able to put down some punishment with that thing. But I imagine that he is kind of waiting for his team to kind of push up with him so he can get that angle. Gets through some smokes. Kind of just help his team get to that cap if possible.
Yeah, that PKM's going to come in at or the M249, the Marsoc alternative. I know it is a PKM, he's picked it up from somewhere. Yeah, that PKM going to play a big part in a cap if they want to play it.
So, very nice little frag there. Going for Kuva. Oh, it does appear definitely trying to go for a cap right now. Kind of standing in the objective, will be taken out. Kind of a foolish cap. You probably shouldn't be trying to cap with flashbangs. Smokes are a lot more safer. And it does leave Gummy in a 1v3 situation in the north.
I think if you're a very confident player, you can definitely flash with it. Flash to cap. However,
Yeah,
a smoke
it's
would
just...
be a lot more helpful.
The current issue is, you know, that flashbang will not be able to take out every single player which is next to the objective, as it did, you know, as it did kind of go out. You know, he kind of went for that cap, and of course Jason kind of, you know, came round the corner and just obliterated him whilst Sibak was blinded.
Got me taking this very slowly down the north alleyway. He's just kind of got to make sure he is very aware of all the defenders' positions. They can be anywhere. I'm not sure if he has an accurate kill count either. But if he does, then it will play very nicely. You know, the best players can know exactly where the enemies are going to be in pre-fire. We'll see if this is the case.
I believe there's a C4, but there's not a C4 in the north. It's 2 C4 has been going out. Gummy is creeping his way up. So, you know, he's right next to 2 players right now. I would say go for a stealth cap, but he does not have the range, unfortunately.
You can also hear that tablet being pulled out. He needs to be a bit quicker peeking this corner.
And will be taken out by Jason.
Very important for teams that are off the guard. The best teams will have players sit and watch flanks, which is, you know, very, very crucial. And the amount of times where teams have been completely wiped out on pushes is unbelievable.
You would always hope that you would always hope that you are aware in terms of people being behind you. Double flashbang from Gummy. Oh, there's going to be YouTube aggressiveness. We are going to see a 3-man. Oh, is it going to be a 4-man? Is it going to be a 5-man push? Oh, this is going to be interesting.
Yeah.
That was another flash.
Yeah, they're really going for it. We can see at the back, Fly to the Sky is on that flank watch, like we mentioned. And
So no smokes and pre-fires out yet. Oh. Let's say you were correct. They are going to be watching some. They're going to have someone on the flank, which is going to be Flood to the Sky. Up goes a nade. Does hit Buddha. Oh, excellent grenade. But it does kill himself at the same time. Very unfortunate. Don't know how that worked, but he managed to die to his grenade. I'm not exactly sure what that was about, but he died to his own grenade, which was thrown. I'm not exactly sure what that was about, but that does leave Gummy kind of in an awkward situation, being kind of the only one on the objective currently. We'll trade, we'll battle Rose. The objective is now open. You know, they do have time to go for that cap, but they are taking it slowly. No, they are not pushing. They are not pushing to utilize that time they have. Death Legion will swing around the corner. Does get the confirm. It will be refragged.
Hovra might have been able to win this with a cap, but they've took it very slowly down this North Stairs push. Their flank watch also still sitting back, which is definitely not the right decision now. The Raccoon about to peek. Takes out the Civica and Jason.
Nice little double kill there, going for that Raccoon. Leaving Fly to the Sky in a 1v1 situation. You should always have a teammate with his gun up. No matter what, you should always have it. You should never only have one guy. You know, if you have that person who's just kind of swing around the corner and you all are caught without your gun up, you know, that is just a very unfortunate situation, but it's now kind of left down to this kind of awkward 1v1, which shouldn't have happened.
Yeah, very awkward for the Raccoon as well. He also doesn't know where Fly to the Sky is going to push from. He knows that 4 of Kovra's players have been taken out on the North Stairs, but will he expect another one? Oh, he is going to watch the line, however.
Oh, just kind of check back. I would be kind of worried for the current moment. It's holding his gun a little bit interesting, I must say. Holding his gun quite high up, but that's fair enough. Fly to the Sky is creeping. He does see the gun. He could shoot his hand. I don't think he wants to risk going for the hand shot, though. Is retreating slightly up the stairs. I'm not exactly sure to why, but out goes a flash. Does Flash himself, unfortunately, is kind of having a bit of a panic on here. That Raccoon does swing round. No shots are had. Oh, and yes, they are now, and that does secure the round for Kovra. Which it is not for some bizarre reason. That is not great, but anyway, moving over to the gameplay scene. Moving away.
Same objective for Kovra to defend this time, and I think a different spawn. I'm not sure if the spawns are different for this one, but 2-man push down North Alley, or 1-man actually. Death Legion splits off to go into the overpass, but Gummy is the only attacker that has pushed up. Jason seems to be the aggressive defender, and he is going to really want to watch this angle now, waiting for Gummy to push up. I think he can just hear him.
So he is kind of holding this very aggressive angle from Jason. Isn't trying to peek out too aggressively though, which is very wise because we do have
Death Legion over here.
Ooh.
중계 -1.
Managed to capture that. That was a little frag there from Battle Rose. Just get one pick onto Space Aces, even now to a 5v3. Nice little pick there from Jason, who went out very aggressively to get the pick onto Gummy.
Spaces Aces 2-man down, which brings them down to 2 since they started with 4. But their 2 attackers are going to be down in this tunnel over here. You know, they're really slowly pushing up, it seems. Now they are pushing up together, which is a lot better than what we've seen so far. You know, we need teams to be pushing coordinatedly. That's not the word I was looking for. In a coordinated manner.
Of course, I say
These
it is
teams-
important
yeah.
to stack. You want to make sure that if a person does go down on your team, you can get that refrag. It is crucial. If a refrag doesn't go ahead, you know, that is just a free kill wasted. So it is always important to make sure to take advantage of that moment, because most of the time after a kill, a player will often reload their gun or even call out to their teammates that they have got a kill. So if you do forget to, you know, think about it. If they're on their radio, they're not really aiming their gun, so you can just quickly zoom around the corner, get them when they're not expecting it, and get that kill. So refrags are very a crucial part for this game.
Taking this very slowly. Bronx guy might be the next person they encounter, sitting in the tunnel in the north. Very strong angle to hold over here.
Quite a very common league spot, of course, in the higher teams. Do you often see a player playing there to kind of act like a bit of a barrier for his team.
Yeah, it's also quite a strong position since it can also cover behind Battle Rose, who is sat in the position, you know, we can see down here. And the reason being is that you can actually come up behind Battle Rose if you go through the tunnel just in front of them. And, you know, we can see times where people have been flanked without even being known. And so they can cover, Bronx can cover that angle.
I would be kind of very worried about that Raccoon's position. That Raccoon's going to get taken out here. No, that down goes Bootster. And down goes that Raccoon from Battle Rose. And that does secure the first map going for Kuva. Took me a few seconds to kind of process it all. But yes, we're now moving into round one. Taking over to Kovra, which are spawning at the hospital, getting themselves ready for this attack. And taking over to Space Aces. They are going to be having the very the very northwestern spawn, which is very far away, very diagonally towards the hospital. Very nice thing being called from that Raccoon about things we can't disclose, but gotta love it. I would be worried about Bronx's position. Bronx is kind of having this clipping issue here. Oh my, I just missed that.
The entire of Space's Aces just shut down like that.
Oh my, that has to hurt for Space's Aces. I was too busy worried about the person clipping to not realise that there was going to be a massacre about to take forth.
I don't think we have to worry about that anyway, but we have Gummy as the only lone Space's Aces attacker all at once. You know, that is really going to hurt Space's Aces. Especially since they already started with only 4 men.
This is going to be a very awkward situation moving forward for Gummy, at least. You know, being stuck in a 1v5 is always this dream idea of being stuck in this position, being able to try to win it back. But, you know, in a kind way, you are toast, especially on a map like Quarantine. They are playing so tightly around the objective. Even if, by some miracle, he gets towards the ambulance, he does need to take out Bronix, and does need to worry about Shibuya. And because you have Jason on the roof, because got Fly to inside the hospital, Klaus next to the objective very nearby, and do have Battle Rose, which is at the, I think it was called the hospital you called it previously. I need to improve on my quarantine callouts.
Yeah, hospital. The one with the ambulance outside.
No hospital, I was talking about the white building with the tank. Sorry, I don't even remember what I said in the past 5 seconds.
Gummy taking a very interesting position. Lying down with the tablet out. Maybe even trying to remember that code.
So I would be kind of I would love to be rooting for this kind of situation, but he is kind of stuck in a very bad situation right now. Might be trying to move up, might even get a little pick onto Brox if he does kind of move around a little bit, but it's very unlikely.
Spaces Aces taking it very slowly. Just enjoying all the time they have left to admire the quarantine scenery.
제이슨 옥상에서 한번 볼게요.
This has to be quite a painful situation to be in right now. But Gummy is still making up, but no! Battle Rose comes from nowhere. Securing the pick with a lot of pre-fire onto his dead corpse, securing the first point for.
Okay, were you talking like top of the stairs?
They will be getting the northern spawn, which is the more further away spawn going for them, but it does allow them to kind of put some pressure down onto hospital from the AC building roof. Of course, it does give them the freedom to kind of play where they want to. And they can always flank round to the east or the west, or go straight through the center.
Looks like we got some early lines up from Battle Rose and fly to the sky onto AC building. They are trying to pick off anybody crossing out, but it looks like Gummy is really crossed out and it's taken out by Cibica. Really far out push from Gummy for some reason.
So I would be quite unsure to why they have kind of played this. You know, I would stick to the objective. I don't know why he's trying to go for this very random 1v kind of 5 solo push. But I would try to stick towards playing with the team here. You know, as you are in a kind of a vulnerable position being in a 4v5, I would like to benefit the team as much as possible, but trying to stick to them as much as I can. Give them this possibility to kind of move forward from it all.
Yeah, in a 4-man situation, you need to kind of do your job and more, since there is a player to make up for. You know, we can't do 1-for-1s. No trades need to come out like that, otherwise you'll just constantly lose. So running out like that and getting a 1-for-none is even worse. But this is Spaces Aces.
Oh,
Nice flash.
What a dirty flashbang from Buddha, I must admit. What a dirty flashbang.
But this is Spaces Aces defense, so maybe Covert have studied that before in the past.
Oh, Battle Rose does avoid getting shot up. That Raccoon does get a pick onto Fly to the Sky, moving down to a 3v4, going for Space Aces.
Scratch one.
So he is holding quite a good angle at the gas station. It is clearing off center burning. Also, it's kind of making sure that the southern side will be secure for his team. Ooh, shots on Battle Rose. Trying to hit Death Legion, but is not catching them, fortunately. Battle Rose is kind of just peeking out, but like, for this angle, you kind of want to be moving a bit more. Death Legion is kind of doing some push here. Smoke's on the objective. There goes Death Legion.
Battle Rose is playing a very large part in this. Pushes up, could take out Buddhamaster.
Ooh, trade.
It's down to the Raccoon to make it back to the objective. Don't think Cibica will have enough time to get towards the objective, but Jason wins the attack.
By securing that last pick.
Going to the third round.
So they should be starting very shortly. You know, Space Aces is still in a 4v5. I'm surprised they haven't got a reserve in.
I'm going back this way.
Yeah, I think at this point you need to get the reserve in, but
Because they can't look right across
they
the
seem to be dealing okay without it in the first map, but this time they're not doing so well on their own map pick as well. Battle Rose pushes into the apartments. You know, fairly aggressive, not too bad, but could definitely work. You know, they have taken a very aggressive line. The angle they're watching is, you know, trying to look for the spawn rather than, you know, go for the early kills. But they are all going into the northwest. A drone also, I can't quite capture it because it is flying about.
Yeah, I
But
see
there
that
is
drone.
a drone coming in from Space's Aces, bouncing up and down.
I say some interesting drone flying skills going ahead. I've never seen someone go up and down with a drone before, but that's a first to behold. Maybe
Yeah, the
one
drone.
day. Oh yeah, guys.
The drone buzzing about, just kind of annoying them.
Ooh. Oh, the drone, the poor drone.
죽였어요.
I think the drone's down.
Yeah, rest in peace, the drone.
Oh, the poor droney. Rest in pepperonis, the poor droney. He will be missed. The drone which bounced couldn't outbounce the bullets, unfortunately.
Looks like a long angle being watched here. The Raccoon and Buttermaster just avoid some lead.
hospital.
Very closely, you do
Just
avoid
below
that.
the roof. He's on the stairs looking through the top windows.
I would be very worried so far for Jason. As, you know, they do know where he is now. He could peek round and just pre-fire the window.
But don't peek yet. I think
Something
He is
I-
holding a very strong angle though, I don't know.
because he doesn't know I'm up
So
there.
I find their loadouts very amusing. They do often use you kind of often use like a very off-common gun, which is the MCX, I believe it is called. Yeah, the MCX. They are using the MCX quite often, which isn't as used as it used to be. Oh, nice little pick down to that raccoon.
잡았어. 서쪽에 있는 놈 하나 잡았어.
When we have a bit of time as well, we do have a C4 here, which is interesting. I have never seen a C4 in this position before, but it is there.
So that is a very interesting C4. I've never seen anyone play that, but maybe that might not work, as you know, it does appear like Gummy's been trying to go on the outside of hospital, and we might even see the same coming for Buddha. So, oh, down goes Buddha from Fly to the Sky 002. Leaving poor Gummy Bear to be on himself for this last little section here. Yet again, just like last round. Might even be picked off yet again from apartments. Take your bets in now, votes. Will he be taken out from apartments from Battle Rose like last time? Oh, no.
Oh, takes out Battle Rose. Really nice pick, but it now alerted exactly to where they are. Jason won't be able to peek that from his position, I believe, but Gummy needs to start pushing up. He does have 2 minutes and 15 seconds to play with, which is a long time, but in the end it is a 4v1. How far can this go?
Say, they might even have an inaccurate kill count going for Kuva, as you know, if Jason is kind of watching this angle still, it could well and possibly be that they're uncertain of the current kill count, but we might see that Gummy is trying to go for a bit of a flank. Say, it's kind of a bit of an issue as we do have Bronx here, which is in the warehouse. We'll be kind of watching that street cross, and with Subka. It's gonna be a tough one. He does need to start putting some heat down, get a few picks, anything to try to help himself here. Just for a flash, trying to bait out Jason, but Jason is still kind of standing up that position. Might drop down, you know, it is possible. He might just know that Gummy's right below him, so he might even just do a Batman
Throw his big signal up in the air and just land on his head.
I have done that actually in a scrim. I jumped on top of an enemy with a knife from hospital roof, and I have no regrets from it. We lost the round because of me, but I'm still happy that I did that.
Oh, Cibica, if he turns around, oh, he's
Ooh.
taken out. Gummy manages to take out 2 of the Cobra defenders, and he could really maybe turn this around. If Cobra surround Gummy, though, there is nothing they can do.
So I would be so worried, you know, Cobra is now kind of on the aggressive side. Gummy with barely less than 30 seconds needs to take out Fly to the Sky right now. This peek over this wall is shooting, does not catch him. Oh, barely was getting shot in the back. It will be taken out. What a nice little round. The objective is still going to be at the hospital, and we are going to see Kuro, which will be getting quite the quick spawn in the east, well no, the western center.
The Raccoon runs up, tries to take some early shots, takes out
Ooh.
Fly to the Sky, and
In a
trades with
trade.
Balrose, but does lose the trade, unfortunately.
Nice little trade there. Nice little line he just held. Almost takes out 2 people. Almost would have worked, but Battle Rose does manage to get that refrag with a trade.
Yeah, down to a 3v4. Cobra massively on an advantage now with a player up on Space's Aces, just like they started with.
But I do have the numbers advantage. We will be seeing a 3 stack. Oh, down goes Battle Rose from Gummy Bear.
Nearly catches Bronx also, but Bronx drops to the deck quicker than you can say Mississippi.
Okay, well that is an annotation and a half from Miro. Appreciate that. I will be definitely putting that in my memory folder. This is a nice little angle that Gummy's put himself into. Kind of running off the staircase onto the boxes. You know, I have not seen teams do this. And maybe it won't be the best, because once you get shot at, you know, these are penetrable. So maybe not the best, but it's still something to keep aware of.
Yeah, he can hold a head peek, which is where you know, hold the gun sideways and you are nearly invisible to the enemies while being able to see quite a lot, which is very, very nice to gain an advantage on defense. And he can hold that on that crate, and most players probably won't expect him there, and even less will be able to see him. So it could work out really well.
I don't know. I think I just have a despisement to being head peeked. There's been times where you see just the smallest glimpse of their player model, and you're just dead. It hurts. No, head glitching to me, it just pains me.
Yeah, it's nice when you're on the other end of that, though, being the one doing it.
Oh.
Morning, jiggle peeking motherfucker.
Death Legion not very happy.
Yes, not very happy about the jiggle peeking. Will be taken out from Shrupka. It will
He
be
is
a
not going to be happy
3v2.
about that one.
He is not happy, not at all. He
Good
does not
effort
like
from
jiggle
Cibica,
peeking.
though.
Yeah, say he did establish that. I mean, even if your morals tell you that jiggle peeking is wrong, he did do that correctly. Jiggle peeking around that corner does establish the whereabouts, and it does allow him to kind of swing round and kind of pre-fire, which did end up in his favor.
Yeah, it's a really, really good movement for Intel, and, you know, even trying to get a
Offense.
kill.
Yeah.
It works on both sides. If you're an offensive defender, then you'll be able to, you know, get in there. But Cover and Space Ace is down to a 2v2, leveling the playing fields. Jason just approaching into the hospital with a lot of smoke out on the front.
So I would be interested to see how... Oh, and I did call it. I was going to say, I wonder how Shipwood will be doing as Buddha is in the open. The objective is now kind of open now. It's up to Gummy. It's up to Gummy Bear. Kind of the only one kind of have to watch it. Does need to worry about from the South Hospital and in front of the the white card Dunes. Does shoot and does get the pick. Leaving down to a 1v1. Oh, Jason in the corner. Now will be a Spaces Aces first point.
Gummy.
This is all, you know, in a dream world logic or ending, of course, but
Hypothetical was the word you were going for.
yes, I know it's too late for me, man. But yes, hypothetically, dream. I don't know anymore.
Possible.
Yes, you know what? Right, maybe you should just do the speaking for me at this point.
Well, we are going into the 5th round now, and
I don't think I actually heard you guys.
Spaces Aces are on the attack, which is much harder.
Good. Take your time, alright?
Oh, yawn. No, yes, no.
You're gonna be watching.
Southeast, man, I don't understand. How are you not tired?
I am perfectly active.
저 비행기 뒤에
Yeah, you concern me. Well, you will know for a fact I will be getting a perfect night of sleep tonight, so you can be assured of that. We will be seeing that Butter is now making his way up to the hospital. We'll be trying to put some pressure down. We'll be eventually seeing some pushes from into the north. Let's say they are taking their time for now, at
The
least.
Raccoon really rushing up now. He's getting really aggressive. Possibly pushing onto Civica very soon.
Civica, that's how you pronounce it. Has called out that the center burning is a person there. So Raccoon does need to make a decision how he wants to kind of push this. No one is watching him though, so you might see him kind of go for a push. Civica is making quite an awful amount of noise here. So, you know, just give him kind of an idea of where to expect. Raccoon is now making his way out. Goes a flash, does hit him in the does not hit him, does come in and does get the pick onto Civica.
한명
Yeah,
사망.
Spaces Aces now have control of center burning, which is going to be a major part of the almost board to take Death Legion and
Ooh.
Battle Rose trading off in the north somewhere.
So that was a nice little trade. Sky, or Fly to the Sky, is unaware that there is a flanker right behind him. Buddha Master is kind of making his way into Crash. Oh,
I don't
his
quite
way-
think Buddha knows about Fly to the Sky either. They're just out of each other's vision.
Buddha will be sneaking past him. Buddha does check his right. Is he going to check right? He's not checked right. And they've
Whoa.
completely walked by each other. Wow, that is an interesting result, to say at least.
Yeah, I've actually always wondered how many times I've done something like that. Because you never know.
I know there's been one time, oh, a nice little aggressive push there from Fly to the Sky, but I know one time I have completely walked by 3 enemies and then I got an absolute beating in the tent afterwards. Because apparently there was 3 enemies just kind of just sat there in the doorway and I just ran straight by them and I just didn't even notice them. And that is a core memory which I'll never forget. And I now always check my angles. But that is a funny one to think about.
Buddha over here, ready to attack onto the impact. But, you know, we don't have total control in the east. Fly to the Sky still has control of that position, which could actually result in a cap for Spaces Aces. Gummy takes out Bronx also, bringing
That is a pick onto
Down.
Gummy.
down to Buddha to save the day for Spaces Aces. He's rushing in. Jason isn't looking towards the objective.
He hasn't. Oh, just want to go for a cap, just for a smoke. Jason's just kind of turned around now. He is kind of open though. Trying to get that cap. Oh, are they gonna get it?
He will get this if he gets that code in without Jason realizing. And they've
And the
done it.
cap.
Buddha saves the day. for Spaces Aces.
They all Pride Day. I'll be a very happy glue sniffer seeing my child grow up.
Absolutely.
It's gonna be round 6 going up. It's gonna be the last round. Can Space Aces kind of get it back, or will Kuva crush them on the last round?
아 이쪽이 쉽진 않던데.
I do actually remember the early days when I first met you. Oh, some shots out. I
Yeah.
actually taught you how to start
You-
casting,
I
which
know.
is funny.
It's amusing to how like the teacher becomes like the student in some ways. No, you got me into casting, and now I'm abusing you in how to get into official casting. Maybe not. This is probably not my most professional cast, as I sound like I'm about to fall asleep. But you know, it's the idea which counts.
Death Legion could be picking off multiple of coverers. Oh no, he's taken out by
Ooh.
Bronx. That could have been a really good offensive push from the Spaces Aces defender.
So that does leave us now down to a 3v5 situation. It's looking quite good for Kova right now, as I only need to try to get to that objective, if not just kill 3 more players. You know, they do have the numbers advantage. So we will be kind of waiting to see how Fly to the Sky, Jason and Bron X will be kind of pushing up. It does appear they will be going for the western side for the double doors. Maybe we can have a few people going up the ramp into Plain Building. Might even try to drop down onto the objective, which is a famous move. If anyone does remember that, the famous throw a flashbang through this little crack here and get that cab. I remember that legendary moment. It was one to be remembered for all time's sakes.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, some shots out from Gummy. He notices all the attackers down in the northwest.
So
Misses
Gummy-
his utility, I think.
Oh, and drops his mag. Oh, that's not great. So he is halted over quite a lot here. Does need to worry about Fly to the Sky, which is above him. Nice little pick there onto Battle Rose from Daracoon. Got some Gummy Bear, does pre-fire, does take out Fly to the Sky here.
Scratch one. They're over here.
Nice level, another peek from Daracoon. It is now a 2v3. Space Aces could well and truly win this.
Two guys over at Paintball. With you. One of them jumped off the roof.
It is awfully close now. Spaces Aces have the advantage by a player 3v2. They're really going for it. Pulling it back from what looked like certain victory for Kovra.
So they just need to make sure that they do not cap. Of course, they are clearly unaware of the inside cap. Remember, anyone which is new to this objective, you can cap at the little plane here. As I'm kind of showing off now, you are able to cap, and you kind of aren't able to be seen unless the folk side is kind of purposely watching it from there, but that's still a very tight angle. But so you can cap through the plane, which is something to be taken care of. Oh, Yami and Jason about to take shots. And going to swing round, securing the kill onto Jason, leaving down to a 3v1 for Bron.
A 3v1. Really tough situation for the cover attacker to be in, but this is the exact situation that the Spaces Aces attacker was also in, so he could maybe try a cap from that position that we just talked about in there.
Say,
But Buddermaster is on it.
I don't know if he knows about the cap though. If he does know about it, you know, that could be... I don't think he does. No, he doesn't. He's not going for that cap. Instead, he will be trying to make his way into the plane. Did make a footstep, so Buddha might be aware of it now. Not exactly sure. He is now slow peeking his way into the broken plane. He's gonna move up. Does spot Buddha's gun here. Needs to worry about to his left. That raccoon trying to make him this cross. Buddha does peek round, does spot him, and shots come out, securing the map pick for Space Aces.
Yeah, I believe that the brightness on Bazaar is quite nice, and I think they've done a good job at it.
Oh, they did a good job at Bazaar, but probably not a good job at Suburbia. As oh man, it is like a Google slideshow going on, to say at least. It is something. Oh, nice little pick there. Nice little double refrag. 2 kills for Kuva. No, nice. I don't know anymore. Nice 1 kill and almost then a down. Going for Space Aces. Gonna get that revive up to make it into a 4v4. So, hopefully soon this map will be fixed. I will not be. Oh, I'm at 15 FPS. Oh, it's not looking great. It is not looking great.
It is down to a 3v3 and a half, actually. Civic only down, but revive 4v3 now. Kovra close on the objective. If they get somebody in, Battle Rose goes in for a cap. Oh,
No,
but
but
he
it was-
doesn't go for the cap.
It is a massacre right now. Absolute massacre.
Flies to the sky, and Jason pushed in at a similar time. Completely eliminated 1v3. Jason, the lone Kovra player, has
What?
to now push against 3 Spaces Aces defenders.
So it is getting very close. Jason is just barely. It's like the second he peeks out, he will be taken out, unfortunately, by Gummy. Oh, Gummy's not looking. Jason could be trying to creep up. It's going very fast. Just get the pick onto Buddha. Just gonna come around. Is gonna go for the cap, but will be taken out by Gummy. I'm not the only one who's getting frame issues. You're also getting it as well, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm not the only one, for some reason, getting 20 FPS on this map. Okay, well, that makes you feel better, but also feel worse at the same time. Some very aggressive smokes going on there from Space Aces on the objective. Shots are being had onto Death Legion. Nice little pick there onto Gummy Bear. Shots are just raining out. Down goes that Raccoon. 2 players down for Space Aces without a single player drop. I would be fearful to be in Sky's position. His teammate is pre-firing right over his shoulder. Death Legion does get a pick onto Battle Rose. Will be making its way into the playground. Out goes another flashbang by the looks of it. Is going to be trying to go for that cap. Is standing up. Isn't going for the crouch cap. Can he get the cap in time? No, he will not,
No.
unfortunately.
That could have went really well for Spaces Aces if he just got that cap.
Sometimes the teams are even that like far away from each other. Sometimes they are. Oh man, this map is so bad. It's lagging so bad. It hurts me mentally to kind of watch it.
Yeah, it is quite bad.
It is honestly horrendous. Hopefully that DPO will be going soon to fix it, so we don't have to play on the mess.
Death Legion aggressively pushes up onto the attackers, sitting in a nice position. I think using the first person views a lot more really helps the FPS, I
Does
find.
it? Ah, yes. I think it's because I believe it's because of the render distance. When you are rendering most of the thing, no, I take that back. When you're outside of a player position, you get very low FPS. That is random.
멘션 2층에 하나.
What a bizarre one. I still put it on Battle Rose. Shots fired. Ooh, Gummy is kind of going at it. We'll be trying to get a pick onto Battle Rose, which is Gummy's main target. David Legion is now putting pressure onto Shaflitsky. Let's get the pick. We need to worry about Bron, which is behind him, pre-firing through that little hedge. Almost gets him though.
Nearly taken out by Death Legion. Wow.
Just we need to worry about right behind him. There's a player right behind him. Is going to be coming out
Here's
for that
him.
thing. Oh, barely. He almost had him. Does he do worry about Bron? So we will be coming around in the trade.
Oh.
More shots being shot from Gummy, leaving down to a 2v1.
Unfortunately for Space's Aces, the cover attacker is there to back up Bronx. And they're now going to, if they can get the revive out,
At least one on APC.
they could push up as a 2. Work as a pair. Buddermaster is not actively watching that lane, but occasionally he does do a little peek up.
So they are going to play in this a bit wisely. Of course, Gummy being at the lane 4 will be able to watch down this entire street, stopping from anyone from crossing. Of course, Fly to the Sky will be definitely trying to go for that revive as quick as possible.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like Cover believe it's safe enough to go for a revive.
So it is it's a bit of an odd one. I would probably risk it. Maybe that's just me, but I would probably risk that revive. To have that knowledge of having those extra players up would be crucial for me.
Yeah, the downed cover player can also give off intel just by being downed, since they can look all around them.
So always something which I find curious is that I would prefer a teammate to either leave me down if I could give out callouts than to go for a res and probably end up dying. Saying that, most of the time my team often tries to avoid resing me because they don't like me, but you know, maybe that's just me.
Very sad story. from
Very
Goa.
very sad emotional story about how I was left behind by my team on cargo whilst downed, but no, I take that back. Actually, I did get revived. It just felt very sad as I saw everyone run away. Saw everyone push out, and I was sat by myself.
Bronx is going to bleed out very soon, I assume.
A bleed out's like 2 minutes long. It's very hard to die a bleed out. I've only died to bleed out on very rare occasions.
Yeah, usually on downfall or something.
Yeah, normally downfall, and he is died of bleed out just now as we're talking about it. But so it is rare to die of bleed out. I have never seen anyone die from bleed out on like a map like Suburbia, but maps like Downfall, Quarantine, Abandon, you know, you expected to see it more. Some pre-fires from Fly to the Sky here. He's kind of making his way up. He's trying to clear anything he can.
I haven't seen Abandon be played for a long time on cast or even in, you know, games in general. One of those forgotten maps, but it's one of my favorites when it comes down to it. It's a really fun map to play with Gummy. Going to spot Fly to the Sky and leaves Space's Aces with another point. Take home.
Moving forward.
It's basically 8, 417, 416. Alright. Let's get it. Get it. 3, 2, 1.
That was a nice flashbang. Does hit Sabiki in the face. Fly to the Sky. It's inside. Does get taken out by Gummy. Sabiki will be trying to push back here. Maybe trying to go into center. Nice little play there from Gummy. Butter will be taken out though. Is going to be confirmed. Doesn't need to worry about that Raccoon. There's some major shots being shot off. Just take out Jason.
Press 3. One guy in the second lane, third lane.
We are going to see a secure, probably kill win. Unless they want to go for this cap. I don't think they know where he is currently. Does appear that they unaware. Does appear definitely trying to go for that cap. We do have Sabiki, which is at the sandbags in the middle mansion.
Third lane, third lane. Sorry, second lane, second lane.
They will be going for that cap. Do not kill. Going for that cap. And the cap.
Wow.
Second lane.
And it comes out to win Spaces Aces the game on